Hey folks, this is the Nutty Knife Guy, bringing you the Timberwolf Massive Micarta Bowie. And she is massive, and she has micarta, so Massive Micarta Bowie, that's what they actually call this thing. Pakistani made, and a lot of knife guys, including me, have had really bad Pakistani knives. Back in the 80s, they were so bad they could barely be called knives. They were knife-like objects. But this particular knife seems pretty good on first inspection. It's supposed to be full tang. Yeah, I gotta admit, I'm a little iffy about that. You can see where the tang goes in to the blade here. It's about this big, so I'm thinking it's rat tail. Probably goes in, and they probably carve threads into the tang so they could put the bolster on at the bottom. But fit and finish is nice. It is a nice handle. I mean, this thing is fun to throw around. The only fitting issue is maybe just a little bit of a gap at the bolster, but it's negligible. It seems very well put together, and as I said, for a big knife, it's pretty easy to wield. So I'm hoping not to damage this during the testing, and we're going to go out to the war post in a minute. And I hope it holds up, because this is just a lot of fun to play with, and it's pretty. It also came with a very good sheath. This is real leather, double stitched, and pretty thick, which for any kind of a budget knife is amazing, because you usually get like cheap nylon, and from some more reputable companies you get cheap nylon sheaths. So I got a little more confidence when I saw the sheath. So we will be going out to the war post to do some testing. I'm going to do some chopping, and of course I'm going to strike the war post and maybe try some feather sticking and some carving and see how she does. And I will see you at the war post. Folks, I made a slight detour on the way to the war post to take out this out of control bush that I've been wanting to deal with for a while. On the way out to the war post, I saw it and I thought, well, let's do the Massive Micarta Bowie. But I didn't think to film it at first, but I'm going to finish the job and let you see. Not really a test of the knife, but it might be entertaining. Okay, so this is the base of that troublesome plant, and while I've got you here, we'll see how maybe this will feather stick. It's probably not the best wood for that, but you can see this is sharp. I did sharpen this blade. It was decently sharp out of the box, but not super sharp. But does seem to work pretty well. And it takes this bark off. It's got a nice choil you can choke up on, and you can make a anti-vampire tool with it quite nicely. Okay guys, while we're here, do a little chopping, since even though it's a weapon primarily, it's also supposed to be a camp and trail knife. So we're going to do a little chopping. Now, I used this before with the Renegade Bowie to chop and accidentally deleted that footage. Hopefully I won't make that mistake now. So we're going to do a little chopping and see how the blade holds up to some dogwood. Well, now this is not the best chopper in the world, obviously, but I'm slamming it into the dogwood, and dogwood's a pretty hard wood, and no edge damage, no edge roll, and it is a $36 Pakistani knife. Okay, one more move before we go out to the war post, since I'm here. Okay, it's done some chopping, and that water bottle was only half full, and it moved, and this sailed right on through. Not too bad. Okay guys, we finally made it out to the war post. Let's see how this thing really handles, and then we'll go inside and wrap up. Okay, so chopping and a little bit of thrusting because I got into a habit, got into the flow a little bit. Pretty cool. Let's do some hard angles of attack here. Alright. Okay. Now let's do the thrusts. Okay, not a problem. Missed that one. That one's always tough with this little itty bitty war post. Alright, do an angle 3. We'll do an angle 4. We'll do an angle 5. We'll do an angle 6, which was also a miss because sometimes I just plain suck. We'll do an angle 6. We'll do an angle 5. We'll do an angle 7. And we'll do another angle 8. And miss again because I suck. Now that's why this thing moves. That's the whole idea, right? Okay. It has faced the war post. It has faced dogwood. It has faced the dreaded plant from hell. Not really, it's just a plant. No edge roll. Maybe a little shiny spots, but the edge was a little rough to begin with. And I'm not really seeing that, to tell you the truth. And edge is still pretty doggone sharp. we'll go in and do the wrap up. Alright, so you saw what was going on. Indiscriminate plant carnage, lower post, the chopping, and the water bottle, and a little bit of carving. And it did very well. All of that, and everything is still nice and solid. Not moving. No edge damage. Now, the test with the dogwood, I understand it's not really a test of the chopping ability. It didn't chop very well, but then under the conditions I was doing, it really couldn't. I do walk with a cane. I have a limp. I can't get down on the ground to chop stuff, and there's really no downed logs or trees where I live at the moment to chop through. We really trimmed back our dogwood bush, so I have that available. But it wasn't the point to see how well it chops. It was to see how well the blade held up and the edge, and it did very well. So I am overall, for $36, I'm pleased. Again, I do a lot of budget reviews because, let's face it, that's what most people can afford. You're right. When I can have money, I buy expensive knives. I ordered a $150 knife that's coming, and that's expensive for me. I like the look of this thing. I like the feel of this thing. It held up well out there, and it comes with a quality sheath. And one thing I forgot to mention about the sheath is its fit is perfect. Almost no play at all. This is not just where they have a stack of sheaths and all their big knives go into one sheath. This is fitted for the knife. So I actually highly recommend this knife. For $36, this would not fail you on your average camping trip, average hike. You saw it's kind of a beast for clearing bush around the house. Yeah, the Timberwolf Massive Micarta Bowie. I might buy another one of these so I can do matched pairs practice. This is a great knife for the money, and then you always have to put for the money on there. You know, if you just need a knife that you can depend on, that looks kind of cool, comes in a good sheath, that can take a fair pounding and stay sharp. About 36 bucks, guys. So, Timberwolf Massive Micarta Bowie, the Nutty Knife Guy seal of approval. I almost forgot to film the sign off. Would have jinxed the whole thing. Remember, folks, to draw your knives only in just purpose, and sheathe them only with honor. Also remember that without knives, life would be dull and pointless. Please like, share, and subscribe so I can entertain you with my edged weapon idiocy with greater skill and grace. I bid you good night.